statements made about rich pins online and how it can negatively impact the effect or usefulness in your strategy for your traffic from Pinterest. So I want to debunk that for you here today. So we're going to talk about what a rich pin is, and we're going to talk about what the benefits are, why they might not be working, and how they actually do work to benefit you, and why you should be using them for your Pinterest strategy. What is a rich pin, right? What does that mean? Maybe you're newer to the platform, maybe you're unsure. So let's just go over this, okay? Rich pins are metadata is the technical term, right? It's the information that pulls right from the pin itself without having the user to go to the original site to actually see what that information is. So when rich pins are enabled, that data is pulled directly off of your website and put onto the pin itself on Pinterest. And this is separate from the actual pin description that you would write. It does provide a richer experience, hence the name, and increases engagement. And there's a couple different types of rich pins that you can have on the platform. So we have recipes, which is a really popular one, and it provides the details about the recipes. So ingredients, the time, the serving sizes, all that is pulled right into the pin itself, so they can see that right from the Pinterest platform. There is a product pin, and that provides Pinterest and the users real-time availability if there's sales and pricings and things like that, and then actually the product link, of course. Then we have article pins, which is what I personally use because I am a blogger about Pinterest. And that shows the author, the headline, and then the description, which is pulled from the first paragraph or information that you put into that metadata section of your blog. And then we have the last one, which is apps. And so those rich pins allow you to download the app directly from the Pinterest platform. If you are an app developer, that can be helpful. All of these help the user that is seeing your pin move more easily through the experience of your product, your article, or anything like that without actually leaving Pinterest. And so because of that, that's where we get this issue of people thinking that because all that information is right there for them, they're not going to actually click through and go to your site. And if this were true, that would be hurting your traffic. So I want to tell you first what are the benefits of rich pins, because I think this will help in the long run debunk the fact that you will get less traffic because of this, right? So what are the benefits of rich pins? So there are a ton of benefits, actually. One of them is rich pins actually help you stand out on the platform. There is additional information and keywords and things like that that are known to help attract pinners. So it provides that standout ability, and it also provides more content to help persuade during that purchase conversation that you're having, or if there's recipes and maybe they need your feedback or alternatives, or whatever else you're showcasing. There are many ways for that to help your content stand out on the platform. The other awesome benefit of having rich pins is that your rich pins will then be branded. So they're branded because they're including the links back to your website, the product information, the logo. It helps you make the pins look more professional. It shows that it is a credible source, because sometimes you can click through a pin and end up on a site that you weren't intending to go to. So there's a lot of things in terms of the branding that actually help with you or help with rich pins as well. The fourth one is rich pins help increase the visibility. And this is the one that a lot of people overlook, I think, because when you have rich pins enabled, Pinterest helps that content become more searchable. Um, it provides more places for you to have those metadata descriptions, the keywords, the conversations, the phrases, all of that pulled into that pin, right? And so that's just another place for you to be able to be found from because of what's being pulled in and making that more searchable for that specific individual design. And then the awesome thing about rich pins, the last thing that I'll bring up, is they're automatically updated. So when you update information on your website about your pin, whether it's going to be product availability, whether it's going to be pricing changes, anything like that, it's going to automatically update that for you on Pinterest. So you don't have to try to track down and create new images saying that something's on sale or there was a change that was made. It's just going to automatically do that for you. So there's a number of people that say that they have also started using rich pins, but they're not seeing them actually work for them on the platform. And so I want to talk to you about why that might be happening and how to kind of get past that, right? One of the things is there are some times where you will enable it or you think you've enabled it and it just breaks, right? We're working with technology. Even the best things online break at some point in time. So Pinterest does have something called a rich pin validator. And this is actually something we dove deep into in my Pintastic Rockstars program because there was someone in there that had rich pins enabled, but it wasn't pulling in the data for them. And so this handy tool will tell you if something is wrong, or it will validate the URL for you. So if you are not seeing the information pull correctly, or your rich pins just aren't showing up the way you thought they should, make sure that you check out this validator. You don't have to do it for every link, but it is something that's going to be helpful to you in the long run. And then I would also check out Pinterest best practices because there are certain things that you want to make sure you have done in terms of updating your profile, optimizing your boards, and things like that, so that you actually see the growth you want when you have rich pins and your full strategy implemented. So those are two things that if your rich pins are not working, you might want to check them out. So how do rich pins actually work, right? What is the part of the rich pin that will actually help you? And like, how does it work? And we kind of touched on that in the beginning. But what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of times people are going to Pinterest to plan purchases, to plan events, to plan content, to plan their strategies for their business, things like that. And so many users will actually continue to the site to complete the purchase or to complete their strategy or find someone that can help them to fix that strategy or whatever it is that you're providing to them on the platform, right? And so when you have it enabled, it gives them that information that they might be looking for that you don't have on the pin image or you don't have on the description itself, right? And so most people will continue to your site once they see that information from the rich pin. And so the biggest thing is I have examples on my website too, but when you look at these examples, they show you how the traffic is, the ingredients, things like that really is helpful in terms of that. All right, guys. So this last question that we have is why should I be using rich pins, right? Let's just dive into that. valuable information to your audience. We've talked a couple different ways about how that's apparent. And this really needs to be an important part of your strategy. So you want that extra information to display directly on that pin. And it doesn't matter what you're using, whether it's recipes. I know a lot of people say that it's really good for recipes. It's also really good for story descriptions, articles. So rich pins overall, you guys, will not negatively affect your strategy. They actually will help make your content stand out and increase the visibility because your content is searchable. So I will get you some information on my upcoming masterclass and how you can join us for free in what I'm teaching you for the strategies to use.